Please be seated.
Kindly sit down. I didn't know that I was supposed to start immediately. Thank you for your patience. His Royal Highness Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Ali bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, the Board of Governors of the Capital Club, the Acting Secretary Enrique Manalo, the Department of Foreign Affairs, Secretary Ramon Lopez, the Department of Trade and Industry, the other cabinet members who are with me today, our friends from the Philippines and Bahrain business delegation. At the outset, allow me to thank His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa Al Khalifa and the Capital Club Board of Governors for gracing this, for advising me to grace this with you today. I am honored by your presence and humbled by your welcome. Today, I am with esteemed group of leaders. You drive industries. You help determine the pace of growth. You make things happen. Your time is valuable, and therefore I will be brief and candid and direct. I am here to tell you that the Philippines is open for business. For the Philippines, this means it will be no longer be as business as usual, but for us, business is special. We seek to sustain economic growth. We have thus far achieved, and we will do everything to provide an enabling environment that you will allow businesses to thrive and flourish. Already, we are undertaking economic and financial reforms. These will help ensure stability, create a level playing field, and guarantee that obligations are complied with. These developments are nothing out of the ordinary. But for a nation that wants to leapfrog in terms of economic growth, these are fundamentals that must be achieved. If you want to do business, we have the means to do business. We are serious in our commitment to address corruption. It is said during my campaign that I say it again and here. Countering corruption is a top priority in my administration. The government will not tolerate corruption because it holds back growth, growth that my people want and deserve. I have already fired senior officials who have been linked to alleged corruptions. I will not hesitate to fire more, even if they are close to me. We've always been serious in campaign against criminality. Obviously, one cannot do business in a crime-riddled community. We will strive to make sure our citizens and residents in the Philippines will be law-abiding, and will be undeterred in combating transnational crime, including the illegal drug trade. This is a menace to our societies whose apparatus must be dismantled. In my short visit here in Bahrain, I am convinced that there is a bright future for expanded and strengthened economic partnership. The Philippines is one of the fastest economies in the world. We have a young, intelligent, and creative workforce. We are diversifying our industries, and we are eager to grow. With its economic vision 2030, Bahrain has also identified three principles of growth: sustainability, fairness, and competitiveness. There are certain economic complementaries and synergies that we can tap into. The Philippines is embarking upon a golden age of infrastructure. We are eyeing big ticket terms and also require expertise and experience. At the same time, I see great potential in increasing bilateral trade and investments. The areas include oil and gas, as well as food like agricultural staples, tourism, and the establishment of halal production in Mindanao. Likewise, the investors, can look upon the Philippines IT BPM industry and find opportunities for partnership to realize the potential of the non-voice sector. This sector includes knowledge of process outsourcing, animation, game development, and health information and management service. Lastly, this year's ASEAN chairmanship of the Philippines will steer the ASEAN to full economic integration. This means investors will be able to access the Philippine market and labor force of 100 million and one, and gain access to the wider ASEAN market of 629 million people. Friends, responsible businesses are our partners in sustaining growth we have achieved. Some of your colleagues have already invested in the Philippines. I am directing my Department of Trade and Industry to organize trade missions from Bahrain to the Philippines and to explore new areas of trade and investments. You have my word. We will make the Philippines worth your while and your money. Thank you. I am not really sure after this. This is a very short program. If you came here just to hear me out, thank you very much. But if you want to more about my country, I am willing to entertain a few questions, if you may. And you can ask any question.
Thank you very much,
But
Mr. President. Yes.
it will be a safe journey of business for you. Return of investment, protection of your capital. Actually, I may be frank with you. I'm not so much into taxation. I just want employment for my people, which is 100 million.
May we open the floor to 3 questions? Yes. Okay. If
If there's nothing, let me just state my personal, yes, sir.
Could there be free trade agreement between the Philippines and the GCC country or Bahrain?
Yes, we will consider that. We're
'Cause-
always ready to consider expanded business.
because that will be something that we have complementary products.
Yes.
We have energy-related products in this part
Yes.
of the world, petrochemicals, while you have agro, and this is
Yes.
quite a bit of complementarity.
Philippines is fundamentally agro-business. So if you think that if there is something promising in my country that's not as yet been fully developed, we would be glad to.
Will we
Embrace
try
you.
to export aluminum product, but there is a barrier. So if that barrier can be removed, I'm
Yes.
sure a lot of aluminum from Bahrain can find its way to the Philippines.
Even in the sharing of the natural resources business, there's restricted areas of business which are not really attuned to the modern times. We will remove it. And as far as land is concerned, I can give you a 30-year lease and another 30 years. And if you still want that, another 30 years. And that is 2 lifetimes in this world. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Just I want to say a few words. We have a long relationship in Bahrain and the Philippines. And always when we remember Philippines and we remember the improvement between these two countries, we remember His Royal Highness, the Prime Minister, and all the effort is done to make this relationship. When we heard about you, and we heard about your administration, and what you are talking today, make us a lot of proud because we love our relationship with Philippines. And we have actually, as I mentioned yesterday, as one of the Bahraini companies, more than 30% Filipinos working in our group. And all levels, I will not say in just one place. We have restaurants, we have electronics, we have perfumes, we have different stores, and they are working from engineers, from account, to beautician, to salespeople. All categories. And that is give us a big hope when we heard you, Excellency, about the step is taking. And we are waiting for that. Even we are not Filipinos, but we have the same feeling. Thank you very much, and I thank Sheikh Ali give us this opportunity to be together here. God bless you.
Let me reiterate my commitment to the Bahrain government. Actually, outside of Asia, since we are the host country now for the ASEAN summit towards the end of the year, I had to go around the small area there, East ASEAN, to sound them off the programs and whatever they want to be included in the agenda for the ASEAN summit. But I just stayed there within Asia in a very small area. This is my first visit outside, really, of Asia, of that small place there, the East ASEAN. I really wished and told my foreign affairs people that I want to visit Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Qatar. And I told them that it is to the national interest of the Filipino people and of the Republic of the Philippines to see to it that if not the Middle East should be entirely trouble-free, at least these Middle East countries who have been kind to us, to accommodate us, the Filipinos. And we have noticed, even before we arrived, you know, the modern technology. I always hear about Filipinos working here in Bahrain, of the good things and events that you have shared with us. There is no perceived demonstration, discrimination at all. And we are happy to know that they are received well here. So that national interest really is very vital to us. We are maybe far away, thousands of miles, but one of our most important national interests is really the kindness and the accommodation that you have extended to my brothers, Filipinos. And that is why I said to His Royal Highness that is national interest is very important. And I committed to stand by you at all times. And I said that if you need us, you just call. And if you want, even if things break loose, I hope it will not. I pray to God that it will remain fundamentally on the side of the Middle East peaceful. But there's a violent activity going on. But we are ready to help you. And I said, you might not have experience. My soldiers are very disciplined. They are graduate, most of them is from the Philippine Military Academy. And if you need troops here, just in the borders, for sure, they just put it in writing that they are here for training. But they can stay here if you want. If you want us to stay for 1 month, fine. If you want to deploy us here, we will agree because of our national interest and the lives of the Filipinos here. So that if you want soldiers under your command, I'm willing to send you 1 battalion, 1 regiment, 1 division to protect you. Just say the word. And if the other countries, what are you doing? And I would just say, it is to our national interest. Bahrain, Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia should be what it is today, and it will be what it would be, inshallah, tomorrow. And Bahrain can count. There's always a reason. And if they would see Filipino soldiers here, we'll just say they're training. Since there is no desert in the Far East, it's all jungle. I want my soldiers learn about fighting in the desert. That is the excuse. But if you want them to fight side by your side, we know that we are a people of gratitude. And if we can repay you, we do not have the resources, we do not have the oil, but we can offer our lives to you. To stand there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now we will move on to the photo opportunities.
Thank you for this honor. And I said it comes from the heart. And my top generals are also here. They are now retired and with me in the cabinet. But they represent the best of the best. All valedictorians in the Philippine Military Academy. They could protect everyone. Just feed them. And they'll be happy to die for you. Never about payment. We will pay them back home. So that's one commitment. The second commitment is I'd like to ask every Filipino listening now. They are here on the good graces of Bahrain, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Just follow rules, just like in my country. And nothing really troubles us. Follow regulation, respect the culture, respect the law, and we will have the best of the relations. I told them. You give that commitment. I will be talking to them again after this. And I will remind of your goodness, your goodwill, your kindness, and just to pay back what you have enjoyed so far is just do not create trouble for the government of Bahrain. Just follow the rules, respect the culture, and you have a good paying job here. Indirectly, do you know why, Your Excellency, Your Royal Highness? Indirectly, you have helped educate the Filipino back home. They can go to school. They can get a good education. maybe a comfortable life better than the others. Why? Because of the millions of Filipinos here in the Middle East. They remit the money to support their children acquire an education which they cannot afford if they are there. So it's the job opportunity. That by itself is a debt of gratitude we want to repay. That is the national interest. If you want the training tomorrow, do not worry. They are all soldiers, disciplined, just like your soldiers. They just stand there erect the whole day if you want them to be. Yes, that is how a soldier works. This time, you tell him, stand by my side 24 hours, he will do that. And I said, my soldiers are disciplined, they're men of honor, and I'll send you the Secretary of National Defense. May I call upon him? When I was a new mayor, he was just also a colonel. And through Mindanao was a troubled land. He brought with him the 1st Regiment of the Scout Rangers. I met him several years ago. Then he was assigned in Washington as a military attaché. But his classmates in high school, who are also my friends, said that my defense secretary, the retired general, was a valedictorian in his high school. And when I asked the military guys who graduated from the Philippine Academy, do you know Delfin Lorenzana? He said, he was our valedictorian in our class at the Philippine Military Academy. So if you want, I leave him here. Well, most of my soldiers and policemen, after graduation, are all invited to the United States to train. So they have a very good experience about. My only thing about, some other time I may say, but America sometimes that does not know what the right hand is doing from the left hand. And of the past, of recent past, they had a very libertarian to the excess, and it almost destroyed the world. So that is how it is. And maybe I did not like it, but there was one point in time I said, you can go to hell. I don't need you. Because they were trying to interfere in my country. And always they would say, we will not give this aid to you. We will cut the assistance. As if we will die were it not for that money. And I said, Mr. You know who, you can go to hell. We will survive. But all others, we are friends. And I cannot even see any good reason why I would say but. So when I go back there, and the Filipinos tonight here, do not abuse the goodness of the Bahrain people. Maintain it because it will also sustain us. In protecting you, we will be protecting the country as well. We do not have the bombers, the cruise missiles, but we just have the human being with the rifle. And that is enough. And anytime you want additional, just let us say, we are inviting them for training. But if they want them to be deployed in the desert, they will enjoy it. It's the first time that they would experience desert fighting. They're busy. They have mastered the fight of jungle fighting. But out there, very cold and very cloudy day, they will enjoy the new ambience. I am sure the Filipino soldier can survive. And that commitment of mine, I made it in public before the people of Bahrain and before my people. Give you my word. We will do it. Let's just find a good excuse. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now we will move on